it's field trip time! Virtual field trip, guys! We will take you to enjoy the journey to MADU EFI. Have you ever been there?
Halo guys, kali ini kita coba cermati apa yang suka hinggap di bunga. Selain kupu-kupu, lebah pasti sering hinggap di bunga. Untuk itu, coba kita teliti apa saja yang ada di tubuh lebah, mulai dari kepala sampai ke ekornya. Di mana letak mata, di mana letak kaki, di mana letak sayap, dan di mana letak sengatnya. Kalian boleh cari di internet. Perhatikan baik-baik, karena lebah itu adalah konsep kita untuk membuat patung kali ini. Kita buat patung sederhana berbentuk lebah. Kita akan buatnya dari sabun dan berbagai media lainnya. Oke, jangan lupa cari di internet, perhatikan struktur tubuh lebah baik-baik, baru kita buat desainnya nanti dan kita aplikasikan pada media yang akan kita buat patung nantinya. Oke? Selamat memperhatikan.
Dalam field trip kali ini, pada pelajaran IPS, kita akan membahas dan mengamati tentang ketinggian suatu daerah di permukaan bumi dan juga suhu di daerah tersebut. Pengamatan akan kita lakukan di dua titik berbeda, yaitu titik pertama adalah di sekolah dan titik kedua nantinya di MADU EFI. Setelah kita melakukan pengamatan, kita akan mengambil atau membuat kesimpulan dari data yang nantinya kita dapatkan. Untuk itu, untuk mempermudah pengamatan kita akan menggunakan dua aplikasi yang ada di smartphone, yaitu aplikasi altimeter dan termometer. Aplikasi altimeter kita gunakan untuk melihat data ketinggian suatu daerah, sementara aplikasi termometer kita gunakan untuk melihat suhu di daerah tersebut. Nah, dari aplikasi altimeter kita bisa melihat ketinggian sekolah di atas permukaan laut dan juga sekaligus suhu sekolah kita yang berada di luar ruangan. Melalui aplikasi ini kita bisa melihat bahwa ketinggian sekolah berada di atas 11 meter di atas permukaan laut. Saya ulangi, 11 meter di atas permukaan laut. Sementara suhunya adalah 23 derajat Celcius, ya. 23 derajat Celcius. Jadi ini akan menjadi data pertama kita. Ketinggian 11 meter di atas permukaan laut dan suhu 23 derajat Celcius.
Format activity, we will record the time for you. Now, this is 7:26. Okay? See you.
Kota Medan merupakan dataran rendah yang berada pada ketinggian 2,5 sampai dengan 37,5 meter di atas permukaan laut. Dataran rendah ialah daratan yang relatif datar dengan ketinggian tidak lebih dari 200 meter di atas permukaan laut. Dataran rendah biasanya berdekatan dengan daerah pantai dan hilir sungai. Posisi tersebut membuat dataran rendah sering mengalami banjir. Dataran rendah banyak digunakan sebagai tempat tinggal dan biasanya termasuk kawasan yang padat penduduk. Masyarakat yang tinggal di dataran rendah juga mempunyai kualitas hidup yang baik karena perekonomian di daerah tersebut cukup berkembang. Oleh karena itu, kita bisa melihat beragam pekerjaan dan bidang usaha ada di Kota Medan.
guys, we are in resting area now. It's 10 o'clock a.m. Okay, take a break for a moment. Let's go. Guys, after taking a break for a while, it's time for us to continue the journey. Okay, from this resting area, we leave at 10:25. Okay.
MADU EFI yang menjadi tujuan kita berada di dataran tinggi Karo yang masuk ke dalam wilayah administrasi Kabupaten Tanah Karo. Dataran tinggi adalah daratan yang relatif datar dengan ketinggian di atas 200 meter di atas permukaan laut. Dataran tinggi memiliki iklim yang sejuk. Lahan pertanian di daerah dataran tinggi biasanya menggunakan sistem terasering, yaitu dibuat bertingkat-tingkat seperti tangga untuk mencegah terjadinya erosi. Tanaman yang biasanya dibudidayakan di daerah dataran tinggi diantaranya adalah stroberi, wortel, brokoli, kentang, kol, teh, dan kopi, serta tentu saja beberapa varietas jeruk yang cocok untuk ditanam di daerah dataran tinggi.
rice field, and then winding roads. We are here in MADU FI. We arrived at 11:50. Okay, let's enjoy the trip in MADU FI.
Hi guys, this is Mr. James. Mr. James is in MADU FI in Kabupaten Karo. MADU FI is a recreational place and also an apiary. An apiary is a place where people keep beehives to produce honey and other products, and also to pollinate the plants. Okay, I will talk to you about apiary and also beekeeping, and also facts about honeybees and other products. Don't forget to check your worksheet and do your best. Beekeeping or apiculture is the maintenance of honeybee colonies commonly in man-made hives by humans. A beekeeper or apiarist keep bees in order to collect their honey and other products that hives produce, including bee wax, propolis, pollen, and royal jelly, or also to pollinate crops and to produce bees for sale to other beekeepers. A place where bees are kept are called an apiary or bee yards. Hi guys, I want to share some fun facts about honeybees. Honeybees are super important pollinators for flowers, fruits, and vegetables. This means they help other plants to grow. Bees transfer pollen between the male and the female parts, allowing plants to grow seeds and fruits. Honeybees live in hives or colonies. The members of the hive are divided into 3 types. The first one is the queen. One queen only runs the whole hive. Her job is to lay eggs that will spawn the hive the next generation. In the summer, a queen can lay up to 2,500 eggs. It means the whole colonies are her daughter or son. The others are workers. If you go outside and then you see bees, mostly that's our workers' bee. The workers' bee role are to find food, build and protect the hive, clean and circulate the hive by beating their wings. Workers are only bees that you can see outside. And the last is the drones. Drones are male bees. Their works are only to mate with the queen bees. But during the winter, the drones could be kicked out by the workers. What are bees most famous for? Delicious honey. Luckily for us, these efficient little workers produce 2 to 3 times more honey than they need, so we get to enjoy the tasty treat. If the queen bee dies, worker will create a new queen by selecting young larvae, the new baby insect, and feeding it to a special food called royal jelly. This enables the larva to develop into fertile queen. Honeybees are great flyers. They fly at a speed of around 25 km per hour and beat their wing 200 times per second. Each bee has 170 odorant receptors, which means they have one serious smell. They use this to communicate with the hive and to recognize different types of flowers when looking for food. The average worker bee lives for just 5 to 6 weeks. During this time, she'll produce around a 12th of a teaspoon of honey. The queen can live up to 5 years. She is the busiest during the summer month, when she can lay up to 2,500 eggs a day.
Okay, my name is Felix Zulhendri. I'm an owner-operator of Kebun Madu FI. So today I'm going to explain to you about different types of bees and different types of products that are there, but we're going to focus on what we actually produce here. So there's several types of bees. The typical ones that you guys know, that see on TV or in documentary, is usually called the Apis bee. It's from a genus called Apis. So Apis bees, there's several types of Apis bees as well, but the typical ones called Apis mellifera, which is the European honeybees, is usually and they produce a lot of honey, so that's why a lot of people use Apis mellifera. But we in Indonesia, because we're in the subtropical environment, sorry, it's not subtropical, but it's tropical environment, we tend to have like higher humidity and higher rate of rainfall. So Apis mellifera is not really suitable for tropical environment. So we tend to have Apis cerana, which is Asian honeybee, and we can't really keep Asian honeybee as a commercial type of bees where you can harvest every now and then, because there's the genetic and the typical behavior is that they tend to move away. Typically every 2 months they'll just move away. So this is a dead hive. This is a dead Trigona hive, but you see there's sort of like a small hive. Apis cerana hive started taking over the hive now. Now in Kebun FI, I'm trying to develop the local tropical bees, which is called it's from genus Trigona. So there's several genus of Trigona bees. There's Genio Trigona and also Hetero Trigona. So this is called the Genio Trigona thoracica. Show you. And I really like this particular bee because they collect a lot of propolis. It's called stingless bees. They don't sting, but they bite. Okay, but this is okay. This one's not too bad. Okay, this is called the thoracica bees. Going back to different types of bee products, there are actually 4 types of bee products from a beehive. So if you've got honey, we've got pollen, we've got royal jelly, and we've got propolis. So the first 3, which is honey, pollen, and royal jelly, they are considered as food. Honey is a carbohydrate source for the bees. So as if like we humans, we tend to eat rice and potatoes and sweet potatoes or whatever. So that's the carbohydrate source. It's the same as the bees. So the bees use honey as their carbohydrate, the primary carbohydrate source. They also collect pollen. Pollen is their protein source, as if like we're eating meat, fish, or what? Yeah, meat and fish, and eggs. So that's our protein source, and the bee pollen is actually their protein source, the bee's protein source. And royal jelly is produced by the nurse bees to feed the queen bees, and it's also a protein source for the queens. Okay, so I really enjoy raising this type of bees because they collect a lot of propolis. So I'm focusing more on producing propolis extract now in Kebun FI because of, for me, one, it's because we are not disturbing their food source like honey and pollen and royal jelly. It's very crucial for the bees. Secondly, it's because propolis has a lot of health benefits for humans. The reason why bees collect propolis is the same reason, it's almost the same reason as why it's very beneficial to us as humans. Propolis is a plant resin collected by the bees. So it contains a lot of beeswax, a bit of beeswax, a lot of flavonoids, polyphenols, terpenoids. So those compounds are strong in antibacterial, antiviral properties, and also anti-inflammatory and immune modulator. So those properties for the bees are the same, the exact properties that are beneficial to us as humans when we consume propolis. And propolis has been used for centuries in like ancient Greek times, ancient Egyptian times, for exactly for those purposes, to treat wounds, for infections, to protect us from microbial infections, and also for anti-inflammation. Okay, so that's the reason why I really enjoy raising these bees, and we focus solely on producing propolis now. So this is the propolis. And from here you can actually see there are different colors. So you see this is the darker color one, and this is the lighter color one. So we can see that they collect propolis from different plants. So the colors, the flavors, the smell, it really depends on the type of plants from where the propolis is collected from. So it doesn't depend on us, but it really depends on on the bees and also on the surrounding plants. So if I pick this, you can just smell it. Can you smell it?
Okay.
Yeah. So if we, so this is sort of like piney, a lot of pine propolis, but we have to like break it up and smell it.
The smell is good.
Yeah, yeah, it smells like pine, right?
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of pines here. Yeah. Speaking about honey and pollen, so these type of bees are a bit different. So they keep their honey and pollen around here. Show you. See, there's the liquidy thing. So that's the honey, and the pollen's usually around next to it. If they already keep it, usually. Maybe they don't have any pollen stored at the moment. So that's the reason why as well I don't actually harvest the honey and pollen, because they have a very low food storage. So if we harvest the honey and we harvest the pollen, they'll just die. So okay, I'll show you the main hive here. This is called Heterotrigona itama. I'll show you inside. So this is the shape. You see? So this is called the brood. You see the hexagonal shape? So even though this is the totally different type of bees, right? This is the Trigona bees. You can see the conserved hexagonal shape. See? The hexagonal shape in terms of strength of structure and the amount of material needed to build this type is the most optimum. So you have the lowest amount of material, and yet you have the strongest physical structure. So that's why in nature they always use this hexagonal shape, especially in the insect world.
Hi guys, we are at MADU EFI, and here we have the owner, the operator, the manager and everything. Felix, nice have you here.
Thank you, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Okay, if any of us have any questions, we have primary 6 teachers here. But my first question is, actually I already asked before, but is it okay if I operate this only for hobby? Where can I get all the resources?
So yeah, for beginners, for home purpose beekeeper, I think it's okay. You can just pick either Trigona itama or Thoracica, but I would suggest the Thoracica one because it's gentler. It doesn't tend to bite, but whereas the itama one tends to bite.
Okay, what it requests? What do I need
number
to
one
do first?
is we have to make sure that they have enough food sources, meaning a lot of plants.
Oh, a lot of surroundings.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Because the Trigona bees are definitely endemic in Indonesia, meaning that it's actually Indonesia. I mean, they evolve in Indonesia, so it doesn't really matter, and they're adaptable to the high humidity environment.
Oh, so as long as we have enough food resource,
Yes.
so we can do this as hobby. We don't do
Yes.
this in big operation
No,
like
no need,
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, teachers, do you have any questions you want to ask Felix here? Any?
Okay, so for one hive for bee, can we know how many bees we have to collect their ovaries?
No, as long as judging the way that we judge a colony is that you just see if you're really used to it, you can actually see whether the colony is actually in a good condition or not. When you open it, just like when we open it, they're very vibrant. They fly out straight away. You can actually see that they're very active. But for a sick colony, it'll be very different. When you open it, it will be like very subdued. It's not about the amount of bees, but it's the condition of the bees. Yeah, you just have to make sure that.
So I do my homework. I do
Yep.
Googling. It say it's up to 50,000 bees in one hive.
It's probably at the peak. At the peak, it's probably more.
Oh, at the
Yeah.
peak it's probably
Yeah,
more.
probably more. Yeah.
And okay, now.
And it really depends on A lot of the information about bees in Google, in the internet, usually it'll be related to the Apis mellifera, which is the European honeybees. But they're very different when we compare to Trigona bees, which is the tropical bees.
Isn't bees are just the same?
No, they're different. You can actually see that when I show you the Apis bees, they're very big in size compared to Trigona bees. Yeah, and the behavior is very different.
Oh, although they are both bees. Okay.
Yeah. Even if you look at the in the biological nomenclature, like if you look at the genus, the family, and everything, it's totally different. Yeah, very different.
Okay. One question. The whole hive, they only have one queen.
Yes.
The sole purpose is to lay eggs.
Yep.
To spawn the whole hive. What happened? But this is out of context.
Yep.
When an old queen already old, not
Yep.
producing, or
Yeah.
die, or something
Yes.
happened.
So the queen, the purpose of a queen is to lay eggs.
Yeah.
And the way that they lay eggs is that because when they mate, when they go out as a virgin queen, they mate with drones. They store the sperm in the sperm sac, and they lay eggs. So the queen will produce an egg, and it will mate the egg with the sperm cell.
Okay.
into the abdomen, and the queens will lay the egg, the fertilized eggs, right? So the limiting factor will be the sperm. So once the sperm store runs out, the colony will kill the queen.
Okay.
So they'll kill the queen and they'll raise another new queen. Yeah. So a new queen can be produced by the worker bees, by the worker eggs. Yeah. So all the workers
Are
can
female.
of the hive can potentially be a queen. So it really depends. So once the queen is gone, the whole hive will lose the queen pheromone, and the workers will select a few eggs that will be converted into a virgin queen by feeding them
The royal jelly.
Yeah.
That's why the name is royal
Yes, exactly.
jelly. And that it must be, if for bee is so good that can raise a
Yeah, so
queen,
it's
it must be very good for human.
Yes, yeah. But for me, I'm a bit biased towards a non-food in the hive here, because like the honey, the bee pollen, and royal jelly, they are very high in energy, in calories. Like honey, like primarily sugars, like natural sugars like glucose and fructose, and a bit of sucrose. So, and the bee pollen is the protein source, and the same with the royal jelly. So they are very, and royal jelly a lot of, maybe a bit of fat as well. So royal jelly has a lot of calories as well. Yeah. So we gotta have to be. So for me, I'm a bit biased towards like non-food.
Well, Felix, it's been nice, it's been informative, it's been educational. We really enjoy the trip. Hopefully our students will enjoy this too, and then will build a sense of belonging to the environment, the beneficial of bees and everything, and bees very important. It's not just we can get the honey and other products, but
Yes.
also to pollinate
Yep.
all plants. Okay, thanks. We are
Sounds good.
very-
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Guys, as you have known the way how to find out the area and perimeter of rectangle, this time I'm going to ask you to find out the area of this rectangular door and this rectangular window. Wanna know the length and the width? Okay, I'm going to measure it, but I'm not alone here. I have a team. Let's check it out.
Why bees are important to the environment? First, pollination. What's your favorite fruit? If you love apples, melon, strawberry, you should tip your hat to our fuzzy insect friends. To germinate, these plants require the transfers of pollen from the male part, stamen, to the female part, stigma. As bees move from the flower to flower in search the nectar, they leave behind the grains of pollen on the sticky surface, allowing plants to grow and produce food. Okay, bees earn their reputation as busy workers by pollinating billions of plants each year, including millions of agricultural crops. In fact, pollination, like bees, play a key role in 1 out of every 3 bites of food we eat. Without them, many plants we rely on food would be die off. Second, wild plant growth. It is not only flowers and food crops that are pollinated by bees. This point is often neglected, but many trees are pollinated by bees and other insects. Bees are responsible for the production of seeds, nuts, and fruit, which serve a vital food source for wild animals also. And the third, food source. Bees produce honey to feed their colonies. Humans have harvested honey for thousands of years, but we aren't the only one who consider it a sweet snack. Bees themselves are also a part of the food chain. At least 24 species of birds, including blackbirds, hummingbirds, and starlings, prey on bees. Many spiders and insects like dragonflies and praying mantises eat bees as well. Fourth, biodiversity. As pollinators, bees play a part in every aspect of ecosystem. In tropical forests, savanna woodlands, mangrove, many species of plants and animals would not survive if bees were missing. This is because the production of seeds, nuts, berries, and fruits are highly dependent on insect pollinations. And among the pollinating insects, bees are the major pollinators. Other animal species are connected with bees. Either they eat the brood or honey, or pollen or wax.
Sekarang kita sudah berada di titik pengamatan yang kedua, yaitu di MADU EFI. Kalau tadi yang pertama di sekolah, sekarang di tempat yang kedua yaitu di MADU EFI. Berdasarkan aplikasi altimeter yang saya punya, sekarang kita sudah berada di ketinggian 1306 meter di atas permukaan laut. Saya ulangi, 1306 meter di atas permukaan laut. Sementara suhu yang tercatat adalah 20,2 derajat Celcius. Saya ulangi, 20,2 derajat Celcius. Nah, sekarang kita sudah punya dua data, yaitu data di tempat pengamatan yang pertama dan data di tempat yang ada di sini, yaitu di MADU EFI. Nah, tugas kalian adalah berdasarkan data tersebut, buatlah kesimpulan tentang pengaruh ketinggian terhadap suhu di suatu tempat di bumi. Ya, jadi buat kesimpulannya. Tadi kita sudah jalan-jalan di MADU EFI. Begitu banyak yang kita lihat. Bunga-bunga banyak sekali. Bahkan sekarang kalau kita lihat di belakang saya ada bentang alam berbukit-bukit, kemudian perkebunan jeruk. Ketika langit cerah kita bisa melihat langit yang berwarna biru, bahkan di kejauhan kita bisa melihat sinabung. Dan satu hal yang pasti, udara di tempat ini sangat-sangat segar. Itu semua adalah hak yang bisa kita nikmati sebagai manusia dari alam. Hak manusia terhadap alam. Kebalikannya, apa yang menjadi kewajiban manusia terhadap alam? Ya, tuliskan jawaban kamu di lembar kerja. Oke?
Guys, we have done many activities here in MADU EFI. It is time for us to go back to school. It is 4 p.m. Let's go back to school!
Wow, it's been a long day for our field trip. We thank God for keeping us safe here. We arrive at school at 8:30. See you in the next field trip, guys. Bye-bye.